Adequate notice of this meeting of the Lawrence Township Council being held on Tuesday, December 16th, 2025, has been provided with the posting of the annual meeting schedule of said council in accordance with Section 13 of the Open Public Meetings Act. Said notice was forwarded in the Trentonian, the Times, and the Princeton packet on December 19th, 2024. We will now have our inspiration of the first.
As we carry out our work at this meeting in a just, honorable, and sincere manner, always bearing in mind our duties and continuing to keep Lawrence a wonderful community in which to live. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Father?
Here.
Mr. Mackey?
Here.
Ms. Perry? Ms. Santos cannot be with us this evening. Mayor Plummer?
Here. Okay. Now we have some special proclamations, recognitions, and presentations.
I guess I'll start. This is something that we do at the end of every 2-year term. So I'm going to present Councilman Kanacki with a plaque of appreciation that the clerk put together. It reads, presented to James S. Kanacki, council member, January 1, 2022 to December 31st, 2025, with sincere appreciation for 4 years of dedicated service to the residents of the Township of Lawrence from Lawrence Township Council. And then I have one more to read as well, if that's all right, or do you want?
Yes.
We can save your present for last. This is always a hard one.
I won't get it done.
Yes, you do get your own apple. Presented to Patricia Hendricks Farmer, Mayor, January 1, 2024 to December 31st, 2025, with heartfelt appreciation for dedicated service to the residents of the Township of Lawrence.
Okay, my turn. On behalf of Lawrence Township, presented to Christopher Bobbitt, council member, January 1st, 2022, December 31st, 2025, with sincere appreciation for 4 years of dedicated service to the residents of the Township of Lawrence from the Lawrence Township Council. Alright, that concludes that portion. And now to the first opportunity for public participation with a 5-minute limitation.
Good evening, Madam Mayor. Joseph M. Lenarski. Fellow members of council and to the township professionals. I take this opportunity to provide before you this evening to bring a word of thanks. I am the president of the Lawrenceville Fire Company located at 64 Phillips Avenue in Lawrenceville. I'd like to just share with the council a little Wonderful thing that the township has done for us this past year. Public Works Director Greg Whitehead was made aware of a situation with some of our sidewalks around the building earlier in the year. And he took a look at it and said that he would gladly take a serious consideration about the repair of it. It was included in a concrete program, which we're extremely thankful for. We were very pleasantly surprised when the contractors rolled up this summer and took care of a section of sidewalk alongside of the apparatus bay area in the parking lot, and it was really a tremendous thing. I would like to suggest to the township, first off, congratulations on receiving again the sustainability solar certification from the Sustainable Jersey certification, because it also, as the person who takes care of the grounds there, I can't get over the people that walk by there. And we're a walkable community with the old section of Lawrenceville Villages, so maybe you can use that for some of your points for your upcoming and continuing certifications with that. There was a few little minor hiccups with the project, and we'd like to also give our thanks to Assistant Public Works Director Clyde D'Angelo for his timely updates, and he has that work scheduled, and we're just a little dependent on the weather as it's been so cold. This all comes back to the leadership of our township manager, Kevin Nowinski, and again, Manager Nowinski, thank you for your team's work and efforts. Also, this past Sunday with the snowstorm, just another little note of thanks. The person was very humble about that and indicated it was his job. It's more than his job, and that's Public Works Supervisor Joe Solinski. He was the gentleman that was assigned to plow the parking lot. We were out there cleaning up the sidewalks and things, and you could just see his dedication and his spirit and his efforts, and it was really more than his job. We'd just like to thank you with that. Also, congratulations to the Chief Financial Officer, Peter Karakakis, on his retirement. It was a pleasure to work with him over the years with the funding and budgeting and things like that within our company. And finally, just congratulations to our Deputy Township Manager, Chris Longo, and welcome and look forward to working with him. Thank you for your time, members of council. Wish you all the best for a special holiday season and all that brings. And again, a thank you for the entire membership of the Lawrenceville Fire Company, especially needs as president. Heartfelt personal thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Hello, council. My name is Asma. Here again, third time here. I want to first start off by acknowledging public service. There's many different ways that we could serve the public. You've seen the way we serve the public. We go out, we support people to make sure that they're not, their families aren't destroyed by ICE picking up community members. We also support families after a raid when ICE decides to just racially profile people and just rip people apart from their families. You've seen this firsthand. And then we also help prepare families in case there is a raid, just to have all their things in order. So that's public service. But one thing a lot of people forget is you all are public servants and you're practically volunteering your time. So I just want to acknowledge that. There's a lot of things we don't see behind the scenes that you all do, that you all think of at night that we aren't, having to worry about. So I want to say thank you to your service. It's practically volunteers. I know none of you are making, 20,000 tops. It's basically, you can't live off that income. So just acknowledging that. And wanted to say now that, again, we're here for a very important topic to our community, the Immigrant Trust Act. And this is the third time we've talked about this, and I'm confident that it will be passed just because talking to some of you and knowing your service to the community. And so we're excited about the possibility of passing it. And beyond that, just sharing, we've done a lot of work also behind the scenes. We've been to the Capitol last week, all this week as well, talking to legislators, and we want to bring forth that Lawrenceville municipality has now passed it. And so what we're asking is if you do pass it, to go beyond just passing it, We are going to be going Thursday, we're doing everything in our powers to try to pass this. On Thursday, we're going to Mercer County. And I know some of you have relationships with some of the people on the commission there, I'm sorry, not Mercer County, Middlesex County. And it's an important district. The reason why it's important is because Senator Scutari and also Coughlin, those are their districts. Those are the district that they represent, and they are the ones who have the power to put the ITA on the calendar, and they have yet to do that. And so, we're imploring you that if this passes today, and we're confident that it will, God willing, that we go beyond that and figure out what relationships, and we talked about earlier, you guys know things and do things that we don't know, and so you know stuff and you know what strings that you might be able to pull. So if any relationships that you have in Middlesex County that you can use to try to convince them, because we're going out of we only serve Mercer County, but we're going out of Mercer County to go to Middlesex to try to talk to the city council to pass a resolution there. So that if it passes there, it'll be a great message to Senator Scutari and Assemblyman Coughlin that they need to get this on the calendar because our state needs it, our state deserves it, our community members need it. So I'll stop there, and I'm looking forward to this passing today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let me just ask, make sure that you sign in.
Oh, yes.
We are actually, council, council. We're going to make an adjustment to our agenda. Is this the appropriate time?
Yeah, you can do that. There is a item on the agenda for public participation, but besides that, there is the ability to adjust the agenda. And I think there is a consensus of council to move resolution, under section resolutions H5, number 382, authorizing a resolution of support of and for the Immigrant Trust Act. My understanding that there may be a desire to move that forward at this time. So you would need a motion to do that.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to amend the agenda to allow for the move up 18H5
5,
to be read down.
you can do it now.
Okay, we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Ballard,
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Mayor Furman.
Yes.
I just moved it up. Now the mayor need a motion on the resolution.
And now we need a resolution on the resolution.
All right, Mayor, it'd be my pleasure to move 18H, I want to get this right, 5, number 382, authorizing a resolution of support for the Immigrant Trust Act.
There's a second? Okay, you ready to read it? You want to read it now? Okay. All right, we have a motion and second, Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Ballard,
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Mayor Furman.
Yes.
Motion passed.
I'm going to do a celebratory thing for my culture.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And it will be sent to the center.
Thank you. Is there any, we now will continue with public participation. Is there any additional?
There's someone right behind you.
Almost carried.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. My name is David Schrager. I'm president of Resistencia en Acción, New Jersey. I just wanted to say thank you very much on behalf of Resistencia and the community that we serve. This is a step in, you're on the right side of history. As I pointed out the last time I spoke, in her book, Strongmen from Mussolini to the Present, Ruth Ben-Ghiat points out that both Mussolini and Hitler started out by attacking immigrants. So when we defend immigrants, we are defending democracy. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart on behalf of all of us at Resistencia en Acción, New Jersey. You did a good thing. Thank you.
Good evening. My name's Gary Backenoff, and I've had the pleasure over the last 35 or so years of maintaining my law office here, representing a multitude of different religious organizations, nonprofits, individuals, businesses, and it's been a real pleasure. And one of the things I've always noted in the township here is the wealth of individuals you have willing to spend their time like yourselves for the betterment of the community. I was here about a month ago, and there was about 20 people or so that got up in favor of the recommendations of the task force regarding the neighborhood center. And after I heard that strong support, I went back to one of the organizations I do still currently represent, the Lawrence Nonprofit Housing Inc. Board, which owns and operates the 100 units of affordable housing with about 300 families. They've done that for the last 50 years successfully and provided that quality affordable housing. They wanted to let you know that they very strongly endorse those recommendations. And they note with regards to in talking to them, we had the opportunity to go carefully through the findings and the recommendations and what the community is saying. And one of the things I noted in going through that is it just seems like such a win-win type of operation. Didn't seem like anybody's recommending anything to diminish the township's role in the neighborhood center, but rather they want to bring additional resources to the center. Another thing we noted though is the neighborhood center is currently empty. And one of the things that it impairs is things like Every Child Value, I think that most of you are familiar with, which is a very familiar nonprofit that's providing programs for students of various ages. But the programs have been impaired because the center is not available. So the concept of trying to make the center available to various nonprofits and other organizations, the school board, which can help to energize the center in the future. So I haven't heard any objection from anybody. I've been talking to people around the township about the proposal, and I haven't noted any objection to it. So I'm here on behalf of Lawrence Nonprofit Housing Inc. and myself tonight to urge the council to hopefully move forward on the energizing of that center. Thank you.
Hi, Jessica DeFalco. Just, will be super quick. Thank you for passing the resolution. And, we appreciate, everything that you've done and listening to us, and, definitely appreciate you going forward and, speaking to other councils and bringing it to the state legislatures. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Paige Johnson, Chair of the Lawrence Township Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. I'm here on behalf of our committee. Really just a little bit confused in terms of the lack of collaborative spirit that our committee has felt to council. I understand the Immigrant Trust Act was just passed. Awesome. However, our committee has had draft legislation to review for the council. A letter was sent to you guys as well as our draft letter on October 23rd through the township clerk. That information was distributed. Additionally, and again, resolution was in support of a resolution supporting fair, equitable treatment of all residents, obviously in compliance, fully compliant with state and federal law and the New Jersey Attorney General directives. We haven't felt, in terms of collaborative, haven't heard any feedback or comment to our committee. I think for us, we're really here to work with council and understand what's needed to drive this effort forward. We've heard nothing. A little bit confused as far as I understand, there's been, pressure placed, right? And you've responded. However, it's just disappointing to know, that we wanted to work and, be supportive in terms of how we can collaborate more effectively with council, right? And support and make recommendations and have that dialogue. And I think that's lacked completely throughout this entire process. I appreciate Mayor Farmer as our committee's, liaison, right, to council in terms of how we can best support and offer, resources and recommendations on behalf of, not only the community, but the people and residents that live here, especially the groups in particular. And that's really what we heard from. So I would appreciate some clarity in terms of how we can work better moving forward. Again, heard zero feedback from any of the 5 members of council here in regards to the letter and the draft resolution that the clerk distributed to council. So I would appreciate just some, initial dialogue or feedback in terms of what happened, right? This has been, I think, since April initially to now, and then, to see this Immigrant Trust Act, moving forward, it's just a little bit confusing in terms of the timeline here, right? Like, let's understand, why we didn't hear anything, right? And then, was distributed, was shared, and complete silence. So I would just like, on behalf of our, council, respectfully, to ask for clarity, the status of that resolution, right? It's October 23rd, it's December 16th. So what's happened in between that timeline? What have the initial thoughts been? Obviously, my email, my contact information has been available, right? And the clerk distributed that along with those materials. So yeah, just interested in ways that we can work better. Like, where can we go from here in order to make this situation work a little bit better in terms of what the entire focus and premise of our committee is here for. So I'm not sure, Mayor, how that works or entails, or if there's any feedback initially from, I see there's 3 out of 5 here, right? So, 2 that I'll need to have separate conversations with, but just want to submit that. And yeah, I'll close and just wanted to make that known publicly and on record. Thank you.
Yeah, I can respond on my behalf in terms of, yes, the resolution and the information, was shared with all of council. I made my, I responded as delayed for the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. So I was in those discussions with the committee, and I made sure that the information was shared with all of council. I did responded. I know that the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee knows where I stood on the issue, and I still stand, in support of the work that the committee does, which is invaluable to our township, and we should absolutely take a look at how the collaboration was missed in this area, because it is the role of our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee to advise the council on matters of this nature. So that would be my. See no additional, is there any additional public participation? I will be closing this portion of public participation. Now we will have the adoption of minutes.
Mayor, I'll move AA, regular meeting of October 7th, 2025.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt?
Yes.
Mr. Connectney?
Yes.
Mayor Plummer?
Yes. Introduction of ordinances.
I don't think there are any. There's number 11, adoption of ordinance. We need a public hearing.
Do you have a motion?
Mayor, I'll move 11A, ordinance number 2502-25, and ordinance amending ordinance number 2498-25, salary ordinance of the Township of Lawrence, unclassified and/or exempt seasonal emergency non-union employees for 2023 to 2025, adding the title of SLEO Class 1 to Schedule B, Grade 17.
Second.
Do we have any public participation for this item? Any questions in the public? Okay. Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt?
Yes.
Mr. Connectney?
Madam Clerk, give me one moment just to have the township manager address it.
Oh, okay. This is for a new position in the police force, an officer dedicated to substance abuse and mental health related calls for police response. It's a support response in addition to the primary responding officer. So not responding as a primary officer, but as a support to the officers and to provide assistance to people who are in crisis. This was an individual that had already worked with our police force, just utilizing his talents more effectively. And I think it's a relatively new position in the state for local police officers, so we're responding to the needs of our community.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt?
Yes.
Mr. Connectney?
Yes.
Mayor Plummer?
Yes. Now we will have the manager's report.
Yes, very quickly, two things. I want to acknowledge Rabbi Yitzhak Goldenberg expressed his gratitude for, we had several police officers who were present at a public menorah lighting at the Quaker Ridge Mall this past Sunday. And as you all know, what happened in Australia, whenever there's a gathering of our Jewish community, there's always a bit of tension and a feeling that police officers can provide support, and their existence there gave them a sense of comfort and safety, and he expressed his gratitude, and I wanted to acknowledge that to our police officers who were in attendance in our police department in Cole for understanding the situation and being present. It's important. And secondly, our public safety director, Deputy Municipal Manager Chris Longo, who's here tonight, he just told me a little bit before our meeting that Sergeant Jose Corrado has been recognized as a public safety hero of the Latino community by the United States Latino Affairs Initiative. He'll be formally recognized on December 18th at 6:30 p.m. at Rider University Bart Ludique Center, and the service is open to the public. I just want to congratulate Sergeant Corrado for a job well done, and it's nice to see this recognition, and extend the congratulations to Chief Reddy as well. Yeah. Okay, and that's basically all I have, other than a very short report. We are 2 weeks into the deputy municipal manager position, and he's still here.
He shows up.
And it's clear to me, although it's a honeymoon period, it's clear to me he's going to be a critical asset to the community on the administrative side. We're able to get into things more deeply be more proactive than reactive. And I'm excited for the future of the administration of the township with them on board.
Thank you. Mrs. Seibert, you,
Yeah,
your report?
Mayor, we have an executive session where we will have some hopefully brief discussion on some real estate matters and some other matters that have been publicly noticed, but nothing else right now.
Madam Clerk?
Just a few items. Boards and committees was distributed to you guys to look at. So you have that. Page play has been out. We have received back most of them. Let's see. Reorganization meeting, January 1st, 12 noon. I gave you some classes that's going to be taking place, budgeting, newly experienced elected officials. Please let me know if you would like to attend any of those classes. And let's see what else we have. And for those who's getting sworn in, please let me know so we can get the program ready for you. Okay, at least by Monday, June 2nd. You too, sir. And everyone else have a wonderful holiday.
All right, this brings us to unfinished business. Do you have any? I wanted to, at this point, I guess, probably under old business or new business, just wanted to address one item with regards to the Lawrence Community Center Task Force. As well, have received a document that speaks to several of the questions that were asked that came out of the task force report. So I just wanted to just publicly share with the community, because we are 60 days out from when the task force provided the report. And I know that there have been members in the community who would want to know where we were in the process and what our thoughts are in the direction that we are potentially looking to go into. And this is just for a discussion here with the council, if there's any feedback from the members tonight. But it's basically, it's just looking to address some of the legal and the governance of the framework for the community center. It's basically, we're looking at a framework that helps to establish a clear and lawful and transparent process for us as a township to engage potentially strategic partners to enhance some of the educational, social, cultural, and recreational programs of the Lawrence Community Center that historically has been, and how we're looking to preserve some of that here and provide oversight and accountability. So I shared just basically some brief notes with all of the council members and also with the manager and our attorney, Mr. Seibert, just to give some guidance. I know that there were several questions with regards to what the authority of the operational control. These are the things that, as a body, as a council, that we need to look at and discuss in terms of defining, what strategic partners could potentially look like, and also the eligibility and the criteria that we would set for determining what capacity and the missions of the center going forward. Also looking at what types of agreements we as a body may conclude to be necessary for partnerships. And also just looking at the scopes of services, going into a little bit more detail about the oversight and the accountability and whose role will be determined. And then also we're looking at the financial side and the operational safeguards. We're looking to discuss the community's engagement. From the task force report, that was a big part of what the community was asking of this body. And also looking to what shared governance could look like, and also what the ultimate responsibility of the community center will consist of. So I just wanted to make the public aware that we are going to be actively answering these questions and looking at, as a body, with regards to the recommendations of the task force moving forward. Are there any comments or?
I never got that copy.
You did.
No, I didn't.
It's an email. I can over. It's an email.
I never got a copy.
Okay. I'll share it with you.
Thank you.
Mayor, I'm still looking at it, but I think it's a positive step in the right direction.
Seeing, I guess no additional comment, but I'll make sure that you take a look at what you have. All right. This will bring us now to the public participation, 3 minutes.
Hello, everybody. I just would like to wish everybody happy holiday season and thank all of you for hard work. And thank Mr. Longo for joining the forces of Lawrence Township again. We appreciate that. We're very excited to have him back. And thank Mr. Seibek, Mr. Nowinski, and all of the council for all of your hard work, and Madam Clerk, of course, and our brand new Deputy Clerk. And unfortunately, no other department heads here, but we do appreciate everybody who works really hard for the township. And as the inspiration always says, to make this community a great place to live. And so, happy holidays, happy New Year, and we'll see you next year.
Okay, see no additional public participation, we're closing public participation at this time. This is the motion for the resolution regarding the refund.
All right, Mayor, there's, I don't think anyone wants to hear me introduce each one individually, so if it's all right with members of council, I'll move 18D1 through H4 to law.
Okay.
Madam Clerk, you call the roll.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kaneki,
Yes.
Mayor Ron.
Yes. This brings us to council initiatives and liaison reports. But I definitely want to take this opportunity to thank Public Works for their tremendous snow cleaning. Streets are beautiful, and not stated enough what a wonderful job they do in providing that service to us. Recreation did an outstanding job with the celebration. Our front looks beautiful. I saw families just this evening taking pictures of their little ones in the beautiful light exhibit that we have provided for the community. So I want to definitely just say a tremendous thank you to that committee for continuing to do the great work that they do.
Don't forget public works.
I did public works, yeah. And public works.
She knows.
Yeah, yeah, we definitely have public works. So that, I also, wanted to share, with the public, this past weekend, Councilman Bobbitt was there with me. We attended the General George Washington's Oval Office, that came here to Lawrence Township for the first time, on loan from the American Revolution Museum of Philadelphia, this past weekend. It was a tremendous sight to see, really great involvement in the community. Just to give you an idea, all of the fifth graders from our school district came by buses to visit the tent and activities with the Museum of the Old Barracks was also there to entertain with the students. And it was a student-led initiative from the junior historians. They were the ones that had part of the vision, and then was supported by, I like to say, by the adults, which is intergenerational again. It was wonderful to see from the very little kids to the members of the Historical Society who did an outstanding job, which was tremendous support. What else? They also, as a result, received a certificate of distinction from the Sons of the American Revolution. They actually came by, they brought a tour bus. Tell you, it is a destination. They brought a tour bus that was touring the 10 crucial days, and they stopped by the Burley House and to see the tent that was there. So it was a great celebration here in Lawrence of our history, how rich it is, and the involvement of so many different parts. Let's see what else.
Mayor, I do have one thing. Shade Tree Committee, in partnership with the township, the assistant municipal engineer, as well as a consultant, has been working on a community forestry plan that's been sort of finalized and will be submitted to NJDEP. It takes a look at all of our trees. We are a tree city. It takes a look at all the things, talks about sort of where we've been and where we want to go, and also sort of the impacts that some of, say, climate change and other afflictions that have happened to the ash trees and now might be hitting beech trees. One of the things that I did want to mention is the idea of horticultural destinations within Lawrence Township, and one of those was mentioned in this plan is Maidenhead Meadows up on Princeton Pike. So get a chance, go over there and take a look at the entrance to Maidenhead Meadows.
Yeah, which is right outside the Burley House.
That's all there.
Okay. Okay. I think that does it for the council initiatives and reports. Written communication, we do have something from our senator, our state senator, regarding a resolution that we passed at our last meeting, resolution number 354-25, which opposing the Northeast Supply Enhancement Project. I'll just read this into the record. It's not too long. It was received December 1st, 2024. Dear Ms. Carter, thank you for sharing the Lawrence Township Council's resolution opposing the Northeast Supply Enhancement Project and for forwarding it to my office for review. I appreciate the council's attention to the potential environmental and community impacts associated with this proposal and its engagement with the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, and other agencies involved in permitting this process. Please be assured that I will review the resolution carefully and keep the concerns of Lawrence Township residents in mind. I also want to note that the Assembly Resolution AR 32, currently pending in the Assembly Oversight, Reform, and Federal Relations Committee, expresses opposition to the proposed Northeast Supply Enhancement Project and urges the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission to evaluate alternative approaches that would avoid the environmental and public health risks associated with this proposal. The concerns raised in the council's resolution align with the issues addressed in AR 32. Protecting the health of our communities, our waterways, and our natural resources remains a priority, and I value the input of our local officials. Thank you again for keeping me informed. Sincerely, Shirley K. Turner, Senator, 15th District. And as the clerk mentioned, we have in our packets, information for training. We've been invited by our fellow Hopewell neighbors, Courtney Peters Manning and David Shake. We are invited to their swearing-in ceremonies as members of the Hopewell Township Committee on Monday, January 5th at 6:30 p.m. in the Municipal building in Hopewell Township. I think we just have Christmas cards. Yeah, and that's it, right? Okay. So that's it for our communication. I want to take this opportunity and also to wish everyone happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. We won't see you until the new year in January. I just, as my mayoral, privilege, I just want to, share with this community what I have learned in these last 2 years has been an awesome experience getting to know so many of my neighbors through the Louisville Project marker, doing that coalition of so many organizations here in the township, working with the Historical Society, the Presbyterian Church, our Lawrence neighbors together, and the historians and the public school and the prep school, and also working with the Mayor's Task Force. Tremendous talent and committed residents here in our community. I can't thank you all enough for the work that you do on behalf of our residents here in the township. Again, that was a tremendous coalition of individuals who were committed and had the heart to do this work, and we will continue doing that work. Okay, with that said, we will now go into executive session. Do I have a motion? Oh, sorry.
Can I make the comment?
Yes.
Two things. First thing, Resolution 18F1 was authorizing the professional services agreement for Center for Governmental Research Incorporated for the fire and EMS study.
Yes.
Ms. Perry was not here tonight
Yes.
because of illness,
Mhm.
but I think I just wanted to mention it because it was a year-long process that she worked on, and I knew she probably would want to be here to have ushered this part through, but this signals that you'll be able to sign this agreement, and we start the process of getting us to where we need to be. And I pass that baton off to Chris Longo in terms of working with CGR and getting the study done for the betterment of our community, our public, our fire department, so we have a public safety level that we're all comfortable with, which, and then the second thing I wanted to say is thank you for your service. We started off in the probably worst possible place 2 years ago, but we've worked together, and though we've not agreed on things, we've always remained civil and respectful. And I appreciate the 2 years because your visibility at community events and beyond, I think may have been unmatched by other mayors. You put a lot of effort into getting out there, and I appreciate that, and I think the community appreciated it as well. I just wanted to publicly say that to you.
Thank you. It has been an honor. I love this town, it's my home, and there are great people here from I forgot my centenarian. That was the cherry on top of it, really, getting to meet all of those. Okay. Any other business? Thank you all for coming. Happy holidays, and we will now enter into our executive session. Do you have a motion? A second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. They want.
Do you want to stay for this or you?
If I'm not, if I can.
Huh?
And if I'm permitted to, I will.